guys, welcome to the Crypto Investor channel. My name is Diego, and today we have a special interview with Sunil, that is COO from XDC. Sunil, thank you so much for this opportunity. I am an old investor from XDC back to 2017 when I started seeing this project that was just TradeFinance platform at that moment, and just had idea how would you like help the world with trade financing. No one knew basically what was trade finance, and then came Art Recorder and TFD Initiative and all the other projects. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm really happy to do this interview with you. My friend, please talk about your background. I know that you're the guy that is working like a few years with this trade finance blockchain, helping the world with this migration from blockchain and to the new financial system in the world. Talk about you, and then we're going to share about the status of XDC projects, how XDC is going to help the world, and let's go.
Thank you, Diego. First, thank you very much for having me. I'm really happy to be here, and I've done a bit of research on you, and I know you are a good fan of XDC, and I'm more than happy to be speaking to you and all your fans here and share as much as possible on XDC and what we are up to for last maybe 2-3 years. So let me start with some of my background, where I come from and what exactly I've been doing all these years. So I have a technology background. I used to work for Oracle, my last technology company, and then I joined a British company called Bolero, which created electronic bill of lading 20+ years back. That helps you to digitize the trade documents. So that's where my trade finance journey started. But I have worked on a logistics company before, so I knew logistics, paper, documents, and so on. So that is a place where I got passionate about trade finance and how do you digitize, because trade finance industry is heavily focused or dependent on moving papers from one end to another end. So that's something which is not very cool in 21st century. My last assignment was another fintech called Monadigo, which is a US-based company which focuses on eliminating duplicate financing fraud. So we competed with the likes of Deloitte, Accenture, to put a solution for MAS here in Singapore. MAS is Monetary Authority of Singapore, which is central bank, so that all the banks could use this single solution, which is going to be trade finance registry, which they will ping before they make any payment in trade finance, so that duplicate invoicing fraud can be checked. So that solution is up and running. It's implemented in Singapore. So after that project was done, I was basically a free agent looking for exciting project for myself. I knew the founders of XDC for 5-6 years. So they wanted me to join here in Singapore, and I'm a Singapore citizen, so I'm gladly joined here. So my charter right now is to work very closely with the ecosystem, help them to develop their solution, and also look at opportunities where we can develop new solutions. With my background of trade finance, I'm actually developing something. I will talk about them in due course time today. But like I said, happy to be here and more than happy to take your questions.
Great. Thank you so much for that. For those who doesn't follow XDC project, Bolero has a key role in this part of integrate blockchain and with the new financial system. So Bolero is kind of like huge in the world in this specific sector. All right.
Indeed. And they're not the only player. There are many other players, those who have come up in a short time. And there are a lot of developments happening in the space of trade finance digitalization. So those of you who are new to XDC or have just started hearing about us, I have like one slide to summarize who we are and what we do. So that slide number 2 will explain exactly who we are and what we do.
Okay, thank you. Let's go. Oops. Let's talk about XDC. Explain to me, my friend. I know already, but explain for all the fans in the world and investors.
Awesome. Sure. So we have been up and running since 2019. We are Singapore started network. We are a EVM compatible layer 1 blockchain, and we have a very unique delegated proof of stake mechanism, which makes it the consensus faster, cheaper. It consumes very less resource. That's how we are able to give you that 2-second transaction time, near zero gas fee, and we can really do 2,000 transactions per second.
Sunil, can you explain better how the hybrid part of the blockchain of XDC blockchain works? Because back 2010, the idea about hybrid part was for privacy of the information, but it was not kind of clear how this privacy would work. Can you explain to me, please?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked this question. Look, there are chains which are public, there are chains which are private. So how do we put them together? So if you look at this diagram, we have the lower one are subnets. So subnets are the one which you can actually deploy in a single company. Let's say you have a enterprise or a bank who is looking at using blockchain as a technology, but they're worried about being public about it. So how do they go about using blockchain to start with in a very secure, safe manner? And over a period of time, they want to scale up to public. So they can deploy our subnet solution inside their premises. So inside their data center, they will have, depending upon what the use case is, they will be able to put multiple nodes, and they will be able to have the entire attributes of DLT, and they can run their dApps internally. And when they are satisfied, happy, and they are able to get the desired result of using a private network, they can scale up to public and start involving, connecting with the rest of the world, and use in a very controlled manner. So there are many banks. Of course, I can't name them because of NDA purpose. We are working with them, providing them our subnet to start with, and they are doing transaction on the subnet. And then at some point of time, because there is a real benefit by going to public. And then after some time, when they are very comfortable using a private, they will go to a public network. And that's how we'll scale them up. And this particular page also gives you a lot of statistics about us, mainnet, how many master nodes, and so on. So it's a very technical conversation, but it gives you an idea that if an enterprise is shy about blockchain today, they could start with a subnet and they could scale up to mainnet over a period of time.
Sunil, can you explain how the hybrid part you work the banks and financial institutions to share the risk of the transactions, like you explained to me before?
I can share. So banks usually, they have been historically always sharing the risk. I mean, let's say, for example, I'm a big bank and I have exposure with a large enterprise, and I have, let's say, lend maybe $10 million for a specific project. It's a big exposure. And now I would like to split this exposure with 5 other banks. So I would like to break it up. The 10 million, I would like to break it up with 5 other banks. This has been historically done by many banks. So they distribute the risk with other banks. And how do they do it? It's very manual. It's email, it's a lot of paperwork, they sign. You have a big risk of 10 million, you're splitting into 5 and sharing with 5 banks. Now, this can be beautifully done using blockchain. You tokenize this $10 million worth of risk, and you break it to 5. See, the beautiful thing about tokenization is you can split the asset into as many pieces you want. A $10 million asset can be split into 10, each token 1 million each, and you can have 10 banks to subscribe to it. So they subscribe, you issue them the tokens, and it can be for 5 year, 2 year, 3 year, depending upon how your business goes about it. So basically it makes it more convenient for the bank to distribute this particular risk. That's how this is being done inside a subnet.
And this can be tradable as well?
Yes, I mean, there's many ways blockchain can be used, and tokenization is very ideal for any asset to be broken or combined. I mean, that's what we do. If I may just digress to trade finance, that's what we do in trade finance, where you are raising money all the time, and everybody knows our Trada token, which is being used by Trade Tech in UK. They raise money for trade finance. People like you and me can buy those tokens for $100 minimum ticket. So can we participate in trade finance? Yes, we can in this manner. So any individual who wants to invest in trade finance, all they need to do is buy Trada token. Every token is $100. Now, it is very good origination business. By selling Trada token, they collect $100 from retail. Now that becomes a big pool. Now this big pool can be invested in a big transaction of trade finance. So this is again, this is a bit reverse, but this is how this can be beautifully deployed. So, you know, XDC has always been very passionate about trade finance. And if you go to my next slide, we explain what we are doing so long. We are one of the first network to be part of TFD. It's been 3 years now. Our journey is very interesting. I just spoke about Trada tokens. I think Trada has been spoken a lot in past, so there's nothing new there. We are working very closely with many agencies like, you know, ICC, PAFT, ITFA, WTO, and many regulators in many countries. For example, here in Singapore, I work very closely with Singapore government, which has been in the forefront of trade finance digitization. So they have come up with an amazing utility called Trade Trust. That is something which is MLETR compliant. That is where the whole world is going. So people have realized enough is enough. We have been using enough papers. We need to move on to digital way of doing business. So 7 countries have already accepted MLETR. More countries are likely to join this. Yes, go ahead, your question.
Just explain for our subscribers, what is the MLETR?
Okay, so the acronym is MLETR is Model Law for Electronic Transferable Records, which basically means when a country enacts MLETR into their constitution, which basically means the paper, the way you treat paper, a trade document paper, you will treat an electronic document in the same manner, which means it will have the same weightage. If I give you electronic documents, our liability is same as giving you a paper document. That's in simple meaning of it. And once a country enacts that into their laws, then the traders, their job becomes much easier. They don't have to wait for a paper to come by a courier. They can just receive an electronic document and go and clear the cargo. They have better visibility to the trade, and they could do a lot with that. So we are mindful of this development as we have been watching this space for so long, and we are working on a solution which is going to be very useful for SME traders. And this product is something which will release early September. So please watch out for that, which is going to be very, very useful. I'm not allowed to speak any more on that, but hey, September is not very far. So we can do another call.
It's going to be fast. Yes. Guys, just for you know, when you talk about like trade finance and MLETR, just we are talking about like saving time and saving money. We'll talk about billions of dollars about savings. Can you talk about that? It's basically this. We are talking about like saving billions of dollars in transactions with papers, documentations, and time is money as well. With this process, you're gonna like increase the speed of these transactions, of this process. So one invoice of import or exportation could be like weeks. With this process, we are talking about days. So this is saving money as well, and all this going to blockchain, right? And XDC is involved with this. So we'll talk about billions of transactions, or can we talk trillions of transactions going through blockchain along the year?
Well, at any point of time, there is millions of transactions happening. So in terms of, and every shipment has got at least 15 to 30 documents. And every set of documents is anywhere between 2 to 30 pages. So even if you just look at the amount of paper we'll save, that itself is a big saving for us. Yeah, and not to mention, paper can be reproduced. And when it is reproduced, there is a possibility of fraud happening there. So there are many benefits. I mean, the benefits have been spoken long. It's just that the world has to come to a consensus. Which solution do we use? What standard to use? And there are many agencies out there, clearing the way, and the world is coming together and start, accepting that MLETR is a way to go. So not too far, we should be able to see this taking action. And yes, the volumes may not happen immediately, but at least it's a good start. And hey, once it gets started, nobody's going to be left around. I mean, you remember, do we even send a handwritten letter anymore? I mean, it's all electronic email these days. Who has gone back and sent a letter to a company? I mean, it's hardly done now. So things have changed. So that's something we're excited about. So we also have, cross-border payment rail. So XDC is one of the early company which has a ISO 20022 messaging platform, which helps you to move money from one country to another country. It's a cross-border, not only moving money, you can also put in any digital asset and move it from one place to another. So that's something which is part of our solution. We are also working very closely with digital custodians. So why a digital custodian is required? So see, when we are having electronic documents also need to be stored somewhere. It's a digital asset. Along with that, you could be sending stable coin as a payment. So it's a host of solution which is required, and XDC should be one name for you to go and get all the solutions there. So we are signed up with large names which you can see here. Companies like Propine, which is a MAS regulated licensed entity here in Singapore, which can handle digital assets. And we have Bitpanda in UK, we have 5blocks in US. These are very respected names. We have some quotes from some of them, which gives you an idea that we are just not looking at developing one dApp. We are looking at the entire ecosystem, so that anybody who uses our network has got a host of solutions to support.
And the integrations with XDC ecosystem is kind of insane. So many companies, they're developing some kind of dApp inside of the XDC ecosystem. I believe that from 1 year to now, the ecosystem is expanding a lot. It's really expanding. Let's talk about
Indeed.
Atomic settlement. Explain to us what is that and how XDC can help this process.
Yeah, thanks for prompting that. Atomic settlement is primarily, let's say you and I are doing a transaction, all right? So usually in old school is you send me the documents, I receive the document, and then now I have to pay you, all right? Now, what if I pay you late? I've already gotten the document, right? So you are at my mercy for me to send you the payment at my will. So that's not nice, right? What if I create a solution where we exchange same time, both the action? I receive the document, you receive the money. So that we call it atomic settlement. It's both action or nothing. So that is possible with blockchain. So we're going to have that, which is a self-executing smart contract. So there is a clear visibility and predictability in business. So you know for sure when you move your document from your end to my end, you will get paid instantly. You see? So that makes a whole lot business simpler than what it is now. So that's
This
what
is
is
for
atomic settlement.
financing and banking services, at the selling houses, everything that can be used with this, right?
Exactly. This can be deployed anywhere. This can be deployed absolutely anywhere. So I mean, whatever we are talking here, all of that can be used in other use cases as well. So it's just that trade finance is where we are focused a bit more, but we are giving open invitation to all the partners out there. If you have a solution in mind where you want to use atomic settlement, you want to use smart contract, you want to look at integrating with XDC, please, connect with us. Our website is there. How to connect us is there. Please connect with us. We'll be more than happy to support you.
Or for you Brazilian guys, connect with me. Just send my mail through our website. I'm gonna help you to talk with the XDC guys, like I did a few times already, like connect investor with XDC project. You can use me too. Right. I have the contacts. Sunil, what's the $1 trillion gap that the XDC is trying to achieve? We've seen this about like a years that XDC is talking about that, but can you explain for us?
Yeah, that's the last point I have in trade finance space. A lot has been spoken about SMEs not getting enough financing because they don't have a big balance sheet, but they have a shipment which is waiting for funding. All right. So if you can just click on that report is which has come from ADB, which was published last year, September. Again, you can provide this link for the
what viewers. Is ADB?
It's Asian Development Bank. So basically, if you just scroll through this report, and it also gives, it's a Asian Development Bank, and the names are given, those who worked on this. If you just scroll, you will see an article which you have highlighted there. It clearly gives you how much money is required for SMEs to complete their trades. So the gap is almost $2 trillion. And if this much money is made available, that much more trade can happen. Now, what we are trying to achieve here is, let's say you are a SME trader in Brazil and you have a genuine shipment, but you don't have a bank to finance your project. So what do? You can prove that you have a genuine trade by putting your document on an MLETR solution. Now, anybody can validate these documents are genuine. So they can verify your document and you can transfer the title on the MLETR compliant solution. Now, if I'm a liquidity provider, I can have a look at that and provide you liquidity because that's a genuine trade. So this is the gap which we are trying to fulfill. So now again, this is not something which we can do it ourselves. We need to bring the industry together. We need to bring all the players together. So we need liquidity provider. Of course, we have been approached by many liquidity providers, those who want to expand into trade finance. We will also do our road shows and reach out to all the countries' SMEs and tell them that, look, now with this new solution, there is an opportunity for them to reach out and get the required funding for their trades. So that's something which we are very passionate about. And I think over a period of time, this gap will go down.
Yes, and we have TFD Initiative, DNI Initiative. We saw all the originators that could like offer liquidity for all these projects that we talk about inside the TradeFinance platform from XDC as well. That was the beginning of the XDC. The idea was TradeFinance, and right now the things is going like moving. And come back over here. So We can expect this until 24, 25. That's going to be like more and more companies inside this ecosystem helping to fill this gap.
Yes, we are very confident about this taking off. And as I was sharing you, we have signed up with ICC. It's a program. ICC has many programs. One program is Trade for Prosperity. That's a program which is aimed at supporting the SMEs in UK. And as you know, UK accounts for a large amount in their business towards trade, and SME is the bloodline for any country. So we are looking at expanding to many other geographies, working together with such regulators and trade bodies. So that's something which over a period of time will get there. But this is definitely going to take off. You have to allow some time, and this will definitely take off.
Great. And about staking, the public always ask me, Diego, when staking is going to come to XDC?
Yes, that's something which we have multiple options now, and I know there are exchanges which is providing. We'll not talk about that. We'll talk about where it is safe to do. So there is the first and foremost is a masternode setup for XDC. That's something which is there in our official website. You could go and read all about it, how you can set up a masternode for XDC. So that's again a link you can provide for everyone to read through, a very simple manual, and it allows you to go through, and we have the entire information given here. If there are questions, again, we are more than happy to help. So again, over here, there is very handsome return, anywhere between 10 to 12% return one can have by setting up this masternode. You know, a network is known by the number of good masternode they have, and we have a very stringent KYC process. But again, this is one good way of staking, and you could make handsome money out here. There are many other ways you could stake as well. So if you just go back to the slide, so we have Prime Number. This is again a company where we are invested a bit, and they provide XDC staking, and the return can be as high as 10%. Plus, there is more rewards which one can have. This is already live and working. So maybe viewers can have a look at the screen how it looks like. So one can go and do staking there. So this is something which is immediately available.
And Prime Number is received investment from XDC. So this was a question that I talked to Sunil before. I didn't know that Prime Numbers has like investment from XDC. This is kind of like a badge of they believe in this project. So XDC believe in this project actually, right?
Indeed. We work very closely with our partner network, and this is one company we are very, very passionate about, and we are helping them to build and expand their business. So this is going to be one very good place to go and start staking your XDC.
Just for you guys, Prime Numbers, how they work. They have NFTs. So with these NFTs, you use the NFT that you buy to stake in your XDC, and you're going to receive the reward about like 10% of API. So I can do a video review about Prime Numbers for you later, okay? So let's come back. And this partnership about SBI Venture. Can you explain a little bit who is SBI and how important this is for XDC right now with this partnership?
Yeah, so Japan is a very important market for us, and there's a huge demand for XDC in Japan, and Japan is also a market which central bank monitors very closely. So they would not want any coin and every coin to be sold in Japan. So they have a very stringent process. So we are one of the coin which is listed in Japanese market now with the help of SBI. So SBI Venture is a very it's a large enterprise. They have 100 over companies under them, and we are happy to have a partner like SBI. And it was recently in big news. So they are helping to list XDC. So one can now buy XDC using Japanese yen. So that's first thing for Japanese market. The second thing is they will start providing staking as well. So all the viewers out there in Japan, they will be able to get staking opportunity working with SBI Ventures. And SBI Venture is also going to be helping us in expanding into that market in Japan. So that's beyond staking. So we would be able to reach out to the banks and enterprises, taking our XDC network and offer them as a technology for them to use.
So
Now,
more partners to come, more Japanese partners to come through SBI.
Yes, and we are working with Fathom now. This is a under testing project right now. This is going to be another exciting project. Again, we are behind this company. We have also co-funded them when we started. Now, again, here we are looking at very interesting returns when this goes live. It is now currently being tested. I think a couple of months, this should be ready as well. And again, another option for you to go staking. So there are many other companies we are working with right now so that we could provide more options. Market is demanding more. We are cognizant about it. And soon you will hear more staking opportunity from XDC.
Sunil, I would like to ask you to send a message for what Brazilian investors of XDC and investors of all of the world can expect from XDC in the next couple of years. What's your message that you can send for us, like to comfort us?
Well, look, from an investment perspective, XDC is a very interesting company. If you're a retail, I mean, it's very easy. Buy the coins, stake them. You have rewards, returns, easy. That's easy part to understand. But if you're a retail, if you're an institutional investor, trade finance is going to be a very big boom. Look at participating in trade finance. You could be financing trade anywhere happening. Let's say a shipment is happening from Australia to England. You could participate there. You can be in Brazil. So what? So we offer an option for you to participate in trade finance, which is a very low risk instrument. And the returns can be very interesting. And it's all market-led opportunity. We do not interfere in what should be the lending rate. It's all market will decide. So if you are a retail, you have opportunity. If you are a institutional investor, you can be liquidity provider in our exchange. And we can discuss more when we go live in September. And if you are a entrepreneur looking at developing something, talk to us. If the use case is something which we have in mind already, we could give you building blocks for you to build a solution. So we are the more than happy to see what is your appetite, where you're working, or if you're just a individual looking at doing some project with us, we have so much work to share. We'll be more than happy to have you work on our project. So exciting times ahead. XDC is firing all cylinders. And obviously, if you're following news, you will know there's so much which we are trying to do. And we can't do it alone. We need people to participate, and it's a win-win for everybody.
And just to remind you all, the schedule for 3R Cord and all the digitalization of the new financial system in the world is 2025. So we're already in the middle of 23. So it's kind of like, guys, XDC as ecosystem and helping the world with this new financial system is kind of going to be huge. Basically, if you check all the partnerships, XDC has huge partners already. So I am kind of like really excited about for 2025. Sunil, thanks so much. If you want to send another message, I want to talk to you again in September, please. Just like you have a schedule for me in September that I want to know what is coming on to XDC new projects.
Once again, Diego, thank you very much for having me, and all the viewers in Brazil. Let's do it together. Thank you. Bye-bye all.
Thank you so much. See you guys.